Hello and Assalamualaikum. My name is Nur Najwa binti Zarli from DLS1A class. Today, I want to talk about right responsibilities and a safer workplace. This is example cases that I make a research. Dua syarikat didenda abai keselamatan hingga pekerja maut. Ipoh, dua syarikat masing-masing didenda RM35,000 dan RM30,000 oleh Mahkamah Seksyen. Selepas mengaku bersalah cuai dan mengabaikan aspek keselamatan hingga mengakibatkan kematian dua pekerja pada Mac dan April lalu. Petrogas Engineering Stadium Berhad yang diwakili pengarah syarikat Azahari Ishak didakwa atas dua pertuduhan iaitu mengikut Peraturan 51AA Peraturan Keselamatan dan Kesihatan Pekerja. Pemberitahuan mengenai kemalangan kejadian berbahaya keracunan pekerjaan dan penyakit pekerjaan 2000 Akta Keselamatan dan Kesihatan Pekerjaan 1994 dan Seksyen 10C Akta Kilang dan Jentera 1967. Bagi pertuduhan pertama, syarikat berkenaan didakwa gagal dengan serta-merta memberitahu Jabatan Keselamatan dan Kesihatan Pekerjaan JKKP yang terdekat dengan cara yang paling cepat bagi kematian seseorang pekerjanya yang maut akibat terjatuh dari tingkat 4 ke tingkat 1 di tapak projek pembinaan di Pulau Pangkor pada 15 April 2019. Bagi pertuduhan kedua, syarikat berkenaan pada tarikh sama selaku kontraktor utama di sebuah tapak projek pembinaan di Pulau Pangkor didakwa mengikut Seksyen 10C Akta Kilang dan Jentera 1967 kerana gagal memasang penghadang yang kukuh dan sempurna pada bahagian tepian terbuka di lantai kerja tingkat 4 hingga menyebabkan seorang pekerjanya maut akibat terjatuh dari tingkat 4 ke tingkat 1. Kesalahan itu memperuntukkan hukuman denda sehingga RM50,000 atau penjara maksimum 2 tahun atau kedua-duanya jika sabit kesalahan. Pendakwaan oleh Timbalan Pendakwa Raya JKKP Hamirul Adli Hashim dilakukan di hadapan Hakim Nur Hashimah Khalid. Nur Hashimah memerintahkan syarikat berkenaan membayar denda sebanyak RM5,000 bagi tuduhan pertama dan RM30,000 bagi tuduhan kedua dan turut menetapkan hukuman penjara masing-masing 6 dan 8 bulan jika gagal menjelaskan denda yang ditetapkan. Sebuah lagi syarikat PMI Teknologi Sdn Berhad yang diwakili pengarah syarikat Wong Wun Shuk didakwa mengikut Seksyen 15.1 Akta Keselamatan dan Kesihatan Pekerjaan 1994 kerana didapati gagal mengadakan sistem kerja selamat bagi penggunaan self-align rotator sehingga menyebabkan berlaku kemalangan maut kepada seorang pekerja di bawah kawalannya pada 13 Mac lalu. Kesalahan itu memperuntukkan hukuman denda sehingga RM50,000 atau penjara maksimum 2 tahun atau kedua-duanya jika sabit kesalahan. Wong Shuk yang diwakili Peguam Derek Chong diarah membayar denda sebanyak RM30,000 atau penjara 8 bulan oleh mahkamah jika gagal membayar denda itu. Selepas mengaku salah atas kesalahannya, kedua-dua pengarah syarikat membayar denda berkenaan. Next is responsibilities as employer have in keeping a safe workplace. First, provide a workplace free from serious recognizes hazard and comply with standard rules and regulation issued under the OSH Act. Examine workplace conditions to make sure they conform to applicable OSHA standard. Make sure employees have use safe tools and equipment and properly maintain this equipment. Use color codes, poster, label or signs to warn employees to potential hazard. Establish or update operating procedures and communicate them so that employees follow safety and health requirements. Employers must provide safety training in a language and vocabulary workers can understand. Employers will hazardous chemicals in the workplace must develop and implement a written hazard communication programs and train employees on the hazard they are exposed to and proper precaution, and a copy of safety data sheets must be readily available. See the OSHA page on hazard communication. Provide medical examination and training when required by OSHA standard. After that, responsibilities as the worker in keeping himself safe at work. Keep your work area free of hazard. Make sure your employer has provided you with instruction, training, and instruction so you feel safe doing the work being asked of you. Follow all reasonable, safe direction by your supervisor. Do not undertake work if you are not confident that you can do the task safely. Ask your supervisor for guidance and training. Stop work if you become aware of an unsafe situation and immediately report it to your supervisor. Read all policies and procedures carefully, particularly where they may impact on your health and safety. Comply with all policy, procedure, and instruction in relation to work health and safety, where all require PPE. Other than that, any related regulation or acts to complete according to the case you selected. First, use railing. When you can, use railing. Railing is a form of passive protection that is the easiest and most recommended way to keep your workers safe while achieving compliance. Second, select the proper PPE. If you're going to use personnel for a race system, you need to ensure you're choosing the proper equipment. All full body harnesses, the mean ANSI standard, will perform the same despite their cost. However, the price differential can get you something extra. Next, ensure you understand fall disdain. You can wear all the fall protection equipment in the work, but if it fails to engage before you hit something, it's pointless. This may sound like a common sense statement, but you'll be surprised at how easy it is to get this part wrong. Fifth is select an acceptable anchor point. By this point, you might be realizing that there are a lot of factors involved when it comes to fall safety, especially PPE. The last one is train. It's been mentioned in various paragraphs above, but it can't be stressed enough. If you want your employees to work safely at H, they must properly train. The last one is discuss the employer and employees' right. Do the Occupational Safety and Health Act and Regulation. Employees have the right to receive training from their employer as it is required by OSHA standards. Training included the right to know about work hazard you are or may be exposed to during your working tasks. You have the right to information about possible hazard and how to protect yourself from personal injury. You have a right to get training from your employer on various health and safety hazards and standards that your employer must follow. Topics include lockout, tagout, bloodborne pathogens, confined space, contraction hazard, and more. As an employee, you have the right to request information from your employer about OSHA standard, worker injuries and illnesses, job hazard, and worker right. You have the right to request information from your employer and how such information may pertain to you. As with the right to request information, you have the right to request copies of rules, regulations, and requirements and to review relevance, exposure, and medical record. You can request action from your employer to correct hazard or violations. Violations do not have to be specific to OSHA standard in order for you to be able to ask your employer to correct them. If you make the request to your employer to correct hazard, be sure to keep a copy of those requests. So, that's all for me. Thank you.